We look at Black students and Hispanic students and Native American
As though
students.
we are inferior,
and we pity them.
That's what makes my blood boil. I mean, it's just, I am not less than you because you are white. I don't need you to look at me and feel bad for me because of the color of my skin. And that's effectively what you're doing every time you take an application. You say, oh, well, this girl's Black, so I kind of feel bad for her, so I'm going to put her at the top of a line. It's just not necessary. I believe, right, that Black Americans are capable of performing in the same capacity as their white peers. You two don't actually believe that, because if you support affirmative action, you are basically saying that Black Americans cannot do it on their own.
What's up, beautiful people of YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. My name is Elaru, your host as always, and today I'm back with another video and check out with you guys. This is called Should We Reach a Race Neutral Future in Education? Emphasis on the race neutral. You know the drill, guys. We talk less and we react more. Let's check this out.
Well, we're discussing the very sensitive topic of whether or not white people are discriminated against in education and the workplace. Is this a made-up issue in the news, or is there a good reason why some people feel this is real? Now, I want to introduce Mala Epinobi, who is a conservative podcast host and a public speaker. Mala, you've been listening to everything that we've been talking about here. I said there may be a third factor here. They don't have the opportunities in some of the schools they're coming from to get prepared, and that has to be addressed, but we can get back to that in a minute. But what do you think about what we're talking about so far?
Right, I'll talk to your example that you gave about the Monopoly game and a white person being able to run the track twice over and a Black person starting after that. The solution is not to then pick up the Black person and run them around the lap 4 times. The solution is to fix the game and make that equal, which would be a race-neutral future. We should not be looking at race when it comes to college admissions at all. And when it comes to things like affirmative action, if we truly said we cared about minorities, it wouldn't be disproportionately affecting Asian Americans, as Candace said, like it is now. Why do we not care about that minority group?
We absolutely care about all minority groups, just like we care about all students. But I think everyone has a significant misunderstanding of these policies. They're comprehensive or holistic in nature. This is one factor among many other factors. And then we say, across all those factors, looking at these and taking them in tandem, is this student best prepared? Because it's not just about your intelligence, that's important. It's also about your drive, about your resilience, about your ability to overcome challenges, and that's what makes you successful.
Even with those factors taken into account, Asian students and white students are discriminated against when compared to their Black counterparts. How is that the case? And it seems that with affirmative action, we've dictated we care about Black students, we care about Hispanic students. These are the minorities who are going to benefit from this, and Asians are not, and Native Americans. But the through line is not necessarily socioeconomic status. It doesn't seem to be resources. It seems to be that these are the minority groups that we feel bad for. We don't feel bad for Asian Americans because they have a culture of high academic standing. They have a culture of drive and of facing adversity. We look at Black students and Hispanic students and Native American students.
We are inferior,
and we pity them.
That's what makes my blood boil. I mean, it's just, I am not less than you because you are white. I don't need you to look at me and feel bad for me because of the color of my skin. And that's effectively what you're doing every time you take an application and you say, oh, well, this girl's Black, so I kind of feel bad for her, so I'm going to put her at the top of a line. It's just not necessary. I believe, right, that Black Americans are capable of performing in the same capacity as their white peers. You two don't actually believe that, because if you support affirmative action, you are basically saying that Black Americans cannot do it on their own.
No, what I'm saying is that there's a history of racism and exclusionary practices, and instead we're reducing it all the way down just to race. And what these admissions practices are actually doing is saying, no, there's a constellation of factors that we're considering in the holistic review of this application.
So remove race from the applications.
Is basically making it about race. You're saying these are the Black people, these are the white people, these are the Asian people, these are the Native American people, as you mentioned. But as one of the audience members said, what about people who are of mixed race? You know, I'm of mixed background. What am I supposed to mark on an application? Am I supposed to mark multiple boxes? And plus, if you are painting people as an oppressor, if you're white,
that's
and
a
then
terrible
saying
thing to
that
tell
you're
someone to do.
oppressed,
Well, it's the truth because you believe in
color,
affirmative action. So I said mark Black. If you're a mixed student, I'm in an interracial relationship, so I can speak to this. I have a son that's half white and a son that's half Black and a daughter that's half white and half Black. Okay. They're going to mark Black because I know that there are people like you at the universities who will say, well, because this person is Black, I'm just going to let them in.
No, they're going to mark Black because they're Black.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.
Oh, wow. I really didn't expect that to end that way. But I do agree with the lady in the audience. The whole effort to compensate the black community for what was done to them centuries ago has now turned into an indirect racist effort against the Asians and the white. I mean, take a look at it. Just as Candace said, every black man or woman is 100% capable of functioning in the same workspace as their white counterpart. There is no need to try to give them a push or a shove or an extra hand due to the fact that they are black. That indirectly is racism, because you are placing them where they are not meant to be yet. Even if they can actually get to that point. You're actually using the basis of their skin color to give them an extra boost, and that's unfair to other students, participants, or whatever the case may be, who are vying for that same position or spot. I mean, race neutrality should actually be put into the school system. I mean, if we're going to stand on that, because I did see a video of a kid, came out, said his principal talked on race equality, and then only moved forward to mention other races apart from the most evident one in class, the white race, saying that those other races matter above the other race. I mean, that was wrong. That was an idiotic thing to do. And for the fact that these two men are actually in the school system, and you know that this is possibly what they are doing, then it's wrong. It's a failed attempt at compensation. I mean, yeah, they are in school now. Unless for some rowdy individuals, racism is barely a thing no more. And there is no need for all this halapalooza over the race thing. I mean, everyone should just let it go. Like, literally, let it go. Let them perform. Let them show you what they're capable of. Stop using their race as a boost for them. Because believe it or not, they're just making most of them lazy. And the few of them who feel like, okay, yeah, they have something to offer, they actually get mad when they see that an extra boost is given to someone who hasn't worked as hard as they are to get to where they are. I mean, it would be even unfair for the other black Americans if you think about it. So basically, this whole race thing, it should just stop. If we're going to be based on the theme of this one, which is the school, then I believe there are other factors responsible for that should be liable for admission other than your race or your ethnicity. That shouldn't even count. I believe your merit should be what matters. Anyway, guys, share your comments on this in the comment section. And please remember to leave a thumbs up at the end of this video. If you're joining the channel for the first time, please click that bell button to be notified when we drop a new video. And please remember to click the subscribe button to follow our latest update. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe.